Okay, so we will continue with task 1.5. So task 1.5 says convert your design to use a 2D array and add additional pieces of information for each student. So before we had only two pieces, that was just name and the email address. Now we have student name, email address, date of birth, and student ID. So you can see that from here a element is 1 comma 1. So the first row, first column, first row, second column, first row, third column, first row, fourth column. And task 1.6 is obviously the same modifier program to work with the new structure. So this is the new structure. You will have to just we are going to change the program, the previous task, and change it to use 2D array. And we are going to save 4 different types of information. So 4 information and 4 columns. So just let's start with programming, writing the program. So just instead of writing the whole code again, I'm just going to copy this code here and we'll paste it here. This is going to be task 1.5. Okay, so this now needs to be 2D array. Please follow through how I'm going about changing the program. It's going to be the same program, just a few changes need to be made. I can write the whole program as well, but I need you guys to understand how and where to change the program from using 1D array to 2D array. Okay, so we still need the total number of students in class. Students was before a 1D array, now we need to change it into 2D array. So to describe or to create 2D array, we need to create two square brackets. In the internal square bracket, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this static, and since it was our rogue value, and then for I in range, the number of columns that I have. So I needed 4 columns, and on the outside square brackets, I'm going to create rows. So for I in range, I do know how many rows there are, as many as total students. Okay, so this is going to take this line. This for loop will take values for all the students, and then after it takes the value and name, it needs to store. It does not need to create a record string and save that. It just need to save these values directly in each column. The students row is I, column is 0. Since the first column, the 0th column, will be used for student name, will be equal to name. Okay, and then after we take the value for student's email, let's save this in this array. This is going to be I row and column number 1. Oh, sorry, this is going to be email. So the after the second value is going to be in the second column, that is going to be the email, and then I have to take the value of date of birth, input, enter date of birth of that student, spelling. Sorry, so students I, and then column number 2 is equals to dob. Then id is equals to input, enter student id, and save it at student row is I, column number 3 is equals to id. Okay, so this is the change required to save, And then for output, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to directly output these values. I don't need to break these values, I just have to print them. I have to print them if student I0 is not equal to the rogue value that we decided that was static. If it's not equal to this, then we can do the process. The process is not going to print the name variable. Instead, we have to print out students I column number 0. For email, the email is stored at students I column number 1. Then we have to print date of birth, that is stored at students I and 2. After this, we have student ID, which is at students I and 3. I have not made this to work with wrapping, so since this is not wrapping, the code goes here. That's not a problem. You can see the code, how it works. Okay, so let me just run it once and let you see how it works. So for 10 students, okay, sorry, I don't want to enter 10 students. Let me just add 1 student so you can see how it works. So name of the student is Zain, email is zain@mail.com, date of birth is 23/07/1992, and then the ID is 1234. That's it. So name, email, date of birth, student ID. Alright, so this ends our task 1.5, and if you want to see the code for this, you can just go into the description, find the link, follow the link, and you will see the code.